I'm Mark Bush, a senior engagement manager at Sexer Group, and I wanted to take a couple of minutes to talk about a project that we completed earlier this year. Impact Tulsa is part of the National Strive Together network and is focused on advancing equity and outcomes for all children through systems level change. Impact Tulsa came to Setzer Group wanting to build the ways that students in Tulsa were able to engage in the educational system and develop college and career pathways. They were interested in knowing more about organizations who were doing three things. So first, they wanted to see examples of groups who were meaningfully engaging with students and their families and giving these students voice. Second, they wanted to identify organizations working to build access to and readiness for post-secondary education. And finally, they were looking for examples of groups doing this work in service of low-income and other underserved students and families. Tulsa wanted to know what organizations were active in these areas, what results they were having, what some promising approaches are, and how they can learn from and implement these best practices in Tulsa. So Setzer Group got to work and applied our approach and methodology. Our first step was to align on the research areas and questions. We then set off to execute the work with help from Setzer Group's network and experience. Next, we looked across the organizations that were identified to understand what trends and practices we were seeing. And finally, we used this to formulate actionable recommendations. This was a quick project and took about 6 weeks from start to finish. The work was structured through 3 meetings, a kickoff, a midpoint check-in, and a final presentation, each a few weeks apart. Between the meetings, each week our team would provide a weekly online update with project progress and status. So here's a look at some of the deliverables which our team built. In the end, we identified 11 organizations that we thought would be of interest to Impact Tulsa. And for each organization, we built a dashboard with some key information about the group, its programming and methodologies, its service area, funders, media mentions, leadership, and other things. Because we knew that Impact Tulsa was very interested in how strongly these groups empowered young people, we rated each organization on this metric and highlighted the rating at the top of the dashboard. We also found a number of themes in how these groups were raising student voices and incorporating diversity, equity, and inclusion into their work. As these were especially important to Tulsa, we highlighted a number of the practices that we found and some takeaways, both large and small. And finally, our team put together actionable recommendations on how Impact Tulsa could put these strategies into action. So at Setzer Group, we're helping businesses and organizations build the future of learning and work. We're pleased to have the opportunity to work with Impact Tulsa and the Strive Together network, and it's been exciting to see how they've taken this research and have started to incorporate some of the strategies and methods in their work. This type of landscape analysis is one of the many ways that Setzer Group could help take your work to the next level. And our team of consultants could help with advisory services, product and service design and discovery, and implementation services and support. If there's a problem that we can help you solve, if there's a service that we could help you build, or a process or product that you need to scale, we'd love to help. Thanks for watching. And if you'd like to learn more about Setzer Group, please feel free to reach out to me or Brian Setzer.